It was a very cheap buy. The guy was asking 110, but we offered him to keep the barn for 5 years, and he agreed with that. So we could buy it this way. This price. This man is our neighbor, and he sells his house now for $70,000. Can you see the difference with the house I have right now? God blessed us a lot, and this house has a lot of work to do. So in 2010, after we worked a lot to change the zoning, the rules of the road, we gave away this part of our property to the church with the building, to make it a public building. We fixed the entrance with the survey to make it round and better fluid entrance. And we bought also a piece of land from here to the river, a muddy river. It's about 1,000 feet from there to there. We had to change the zoning of it. Okay, it was a big project, you know. We began that in 2005. What happened is this: in 2004, my wife and myself talked together. We talked to the congregation. We talked also to the mayor of the city. When I visited the mayor of the city, I had two things to ask him, and one of the things was to give away our building to the church. But the first thing I don't remember, but I was about to ask him that, and he said, "Jean, you are a preacher, and you have a big, useless building. Why don't you use that building for a chapel?" So in other words, he put the words in my mouth. And this is the way God was answering us. They changed the rules twice in the road to be able to allow our project. We had to change the zoning, so we had to ask the government 4 things: to give away a piece of our land with a barn, to buy this piece of land, to cut it in 2 parts, to make a Bible camp, a preaching school, and a chapel with that, or a church building if you prefer. And at first, when we received the answer of the government was no, 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 no. So you see, every time we had a challenge like that, we had an obstacle, we prayed, we got close to discouragement. But 10 days before it was over, because we met also the men, all these, what do you call it, the officers. And for 10 days before it was over, we met them, and they gave us 10 more days to present our project, to give our arguments. And finally, we could find very good arguments, and the government sent to us an answer. And the answer was yes, 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 and yes. You see God's work. Never get discouraged. Persevere, even in school. And this is the donation to the church of the building. Okay, the building looked like it, and inside it was like that. Look at that. No walls, no floor, no second floor. The restroom was right this one. And so I washed it myself, and for about 2 years I had an elbow problem. And you see here, you see a pit, okay? We used that pit to make the baptistry. We never had a baptistry over there. We used the swimming pool, the rivers, and bathtub sometimes. We painted it. Look at the height of my son, okay? When we began, this is the first year we began, in 2005. So we began to make some walls, division. What you see here is the wall of the place where we meet right now. This is the office building. You will see the improvement while we see the pictures. I will go very fast because we have many pictures. You see my property on the right. We bought rough wood. All the rough wood was very cheap. This is one of my brothers in the blood. I have 6 brothers and 3 sisters. None of them are Christians, but they respect us a lot. And he came to help me. He is a constructor. We built a second floor on the other side. Well, we can say a second balcony, so to speak. It was very hard to work in this building because the floor, the concrete floor, is not even. But we could do something very much straight at level. So we began 7 years ago. We still work on it. We're not finished yet. We had to build 2 bridges because at first the city didn't want me to make 2 second floors, but 2 balcony. The sunset is in the office and the sunrise at the main entrance. Okay, the preaching school or mission school will be on the 2nd floor. We have 5 rooms for that purpose, even my office, so 6 rooms. That will be a web preaching school. The teachers will come twice a year to visit the students, but they won't need to be there. This is the office. We had the sojourners who helped us a lot in the construction. They came 3 times, and they would come another time this summer for 1 month. This is a friend of my son. We heat the whole building with wood, with a big furnace. We had to change the insulation. It was intoxicated with oil. This is a brother called Gerard. But we put a very great insulation. These 2 women are sojourners, and they work like men, I tell you. And they are so wonderful people. You see the insulation is very different, and it's very good. This is my brother here with a sojourner on the right, a brother on the left, other sojourners on the right. You see the walls now are all in wood, or almost. The ceiling is still in steel. The baptistry is right here, on the left of the pulpit, and the stage will be made different. It will be like a P that goes around the baptistry. Over there, the word chapel is more common for the fact that a chapel for them, it's a small church building. And that will look like a small church building. Okay, the baptistry, we needed to clean it. We cleaned it with wood dust. Here is a part of it. We worked a lot on it. I finished it this year. We had a few groups from churches who came and helped us. The baptistry is made on the shape of a tombstone to inspire the burial. And what we will do, it will be open, and there is a fountain there to give a circulation on the water to keep it good, and the people will look at it and they will ask questions. I have every summertime many visits in the area. People in the area are very excited about the idea of our project, and they ask many questions. They want to visit, and we have at least 100 people, 100 Christians, to invite at the opening. We are making it here in Minister. This is upstairs. The rooms are not finished yet, but these rooms will have bedrooms that we will put on the wall, like a kind of a piece of plywood, something comfortable. Here is the future library with 2 restrooms on the sides. This is my wife teaching in one of these class rooms. She's a knitting person, and she's making a lot of things for poor people when we have the opening. And she looks for some of this kind of material, if you have any, to give away. Okay, you see again upstairs, we see the office again. Myself. This is the way the building looks like now, and it will look like at the end also, because the divisions are made, but the restrooms are not finished yet. This is here the library, and here it's about, know that it is 30 feet inside, okay? And here we have a lot of windows that we need to build, the classrooms, and the office. And it's small, but we don't expect to have more than 2 to 10 students a year. We'll have some teachers from Quebec. Yvon Boulevard is working with about 10 congregations, small congregations, 2 to 10 members. And what we are working on is to try to gather together, the brotherhood. Over there we don't have any Bible camp, any preaching school. All over Quebec we have a very few resources. This is Bren White, you might know, is from Laurel Church of Christ. He would be one of the teachers. The teachers must speak French fluently. For those who are interested, Jan Upsich and Jean-Claude Smith, two French from France who are in the States, who will be teachers also. This is downstairs. You see the main entrance, the main room, the two restrooms. We call the restrooms Adam and Eve. This is the baptistry, and you see the stair right here? Between the baptistry and the stairs, there is a small way to go there, so we called it the narrow way. And you see the furnace room, where we put the wood right here outside, inside. The downstairs where we meet together now. And this shed here will be put away, will be a bigger shed. You will see that on this picture. But the picture is upside down. I'm sorry about this. The main entrance is right here. We need to destroy the other shed to make a new shed for a better use for the kitchen, the dining room, and the hall. Note also that the entrance will be covered by a ceiling right here. It's not existing now, these parts, okay? This shed fell about in 2008. Yeah, we had about 12 feet of snow that year, and this fell. I went there twice before it fell, between the last snowstorm and the fall of the shed. So I could be dead today. So we needed to make a new shed right here, but we need to destroy this one right now. And this is the new shed we bought. We built it and made ourselves. We have about 20 to 30 cords of wood every year. The weather over there can reach minus 40 for about 7 days. But usually it's between minus 30 Celsius to minus 40. We had some gatherings, and when we have a group who are coming from the States or from elsewhere, we always have a special gathering where we invite people. On the side, we made 2 benches where we will be able to put at least 20 people. These benches cover the docks. This is a group of 2 years ago, another group of 2 years ago. We had the devotionals every morning before we began to work. Some potlucks. We have also some congregation. I work with 2 congregations far away. One is at 4 hours driving, and the other one is at 2 hours and a half. And they were there this time. 3 sisters over there in the congregation. Here we go. Okay, something I did this summer. We had a big problem in the entrance. We hired a man who didn't do a good work. We had to make a division with my house and the church, and to change the level of the entrance because the water was going into the building. And so we asked him for 4 years to come and fix his work, and he never did. So I decided to do it myself. I rented a bulldozer right here, and we fixed the problem we had. Look at the water we had in the spring. Would you like to go to church in canoe in winter? No. So you see the work we did in the snow. So finally, I began to work in this, and we made a lot of improvement. You will see that. Okay, between the land is cut in 2 pieces because of this creek right here. So I had to make a way to get across, you see. Okay, I want to tell you something. You remember that passage of Elisha with the son of the prophets? They wanted to build a preaching school. And this man had an axe he borrowed, and it fell into the water. 2 Kings 6, 1-7. And he said to Elisha, "My master, it was borrowed." My tractor was about 1 year in the mud in the back, because there is a lot of mud there. And we could not get it out. My friends on the road, the members, we tried together, and it stayed there for 1 year. But look at what happened to me. with the bulldozer.
Oh, oh boy.
You know what I said? I said, Lord, it was borrowed. I was afraid to stay there a long time. So the man who sold us the sand to cover the work we were doing, he said to me, I'm going to bring my loader and we'll try with the hydraulic to pull it. And finally, he could do it. So, whoops. He could do it and something happened. He got stuck there. A bulldozer, not a bulldozer, but a loader of 25,000 pounds. So he said to me, he said, Jean, it's going to take an army to get it out. So we were in trouble. My bulldozer was between the loader on the hill and the mud. But the day after, he came back with a loader of 53,000 pounds, and he could get out his loader and everything was over. But just to tell you, you know, this story tells me something. When you have a vision, and God approves your vision, whatsoever happens to you is in charge of everything. Don't worry. God wants to involve you in something and He will stop on the way. You know, God will go to the end. He's just saying us, go to the end. Persevere to the end. You see the difference, man? Look. You will see some old pictures, you see. Some people said to me the building looks better than before. Although we didn't do anything. My wife helped me a lot. She compacted the whole thing. This is the backyard. We have a lot of room to put RVs and everything. Okay, we need to work on the facade. The facade will be changed. The shed on the left will be changed also. This is where we are now in the work. We look for the blueprints, fees of the architect, and the material and the constructor we need to hire. This is the way the building will look like outside. On the other side, this is the facade. This is always going to be. On the left there will be a shed behind, but here there will be no shed. In case we need to make it bigger, the building will be ready. But when you will go into these doors, you will go underneath that roof. And here also there will be a roof over these doors. So in the winter, in the summertime, you will be able to get inside without getting wet. This is the architect. We entrusted our work to an architect in May, but the architect never did it. And we called him 3 times, and finally he said to us, I won't be able to make it, I think. So we're pretty much upside down. And we hired another one, and he gave it to us, but it would cost us $14,000 just for the architecture, design, for the stamp. And this is the way it works over there. A building, when you have a public building, the cost of the building, the value of the building is 10% of the cost. You take 10% of that for the cost of the architect. Okay, this is something I want to show you. This is our neighbor.
I need to go. I'll
Yeah,
see you later.
all right. This is our neighbor. This is an RV park, okay? And this is only the 5th of the parking of the RV park. He bought as wide as this on this side, and it reached the front of our building, the church building. And many people there are very interested in our project. Even the guy, the owner, this is the owner, he's working on 5,000 lots for RVs, permanent and temporary campers. When you go there with your RV, it doesn't cost you anything for gas, electricity, water, for the lot and the sewer. It's all free, and this is the way he makes his money. The people goes to his displays and they buy a lot. This is the mayor of the city, a great friend to the owner. And what I'm saying is, this is for us an asset. For instance, last year we had a visit. What time is it?
It's right at 10.
Okay, it's about over, is it? Okay, I'm finished. Last year we had a visit of a man. He was from a denomination, but visiting this RV park. He said, I heard that you were having a meeting on Sunday, your church. He heard that RV park. He said, do you think I can visit? I said, yes, come over. And he came and he was very impressed about the Word of God that we taught. He said, I'm glad I can hear the Word of God here. And in a congregation, we don't talk about the Word of God enough. He was a Pentecostal. And he said, I'm very excited about your project. I'm going to give you a donation. My wife left and she will come back within a minute. And she brought a $100 for the project. Just to tell you that many times we have this kind of comments, this kind of ideas that help us to keep on to the end. Between Quebec and our area, there is a highway. Okay, it was a very, very dangerous highway. But underneath that bridge, they built a new highway, a 4-lane highway with a piece of land in the middle. You see that right here. Okay? It's a 2.5 hours driving. A lot of moose accidents, a lot of car accidents. But now they built that highway between Quebec and our area, Quebec City and our area, and they put a fence all the way along of 8 feet high to prevent moose accident. When you go up, when you go down. Okay. You know, this project is just a building, okay? But over there it's more than a building. It's something that reached their heart. You know, they say we are tired about Catholicism over there. They took our money to build temples that we have to give away today. We have about 100 Catholic church buildings in this area, from 500 people to 2,000 people inside. And most of them now are closed. Most of the Catholic, maybe 10% of them are going to church, but they have to close many buildings. But they relate that building to Jesus' birth. Over there we see Jesus was born in a stable, and we are making a stable, a chapel. You see the idea? And they like it. They don't know where to go now. We are in a perfect timing. You know, Elisha, when he was with these guys had a big project, but they were very small. They were not having the support of the king, Joram, the king of Israel, who was a very bad king. He was killed because of that. But God was with them. So he said, take the axe, takes it back. God is with us. And I don't care about any kind of trial we have. He showed us so many times. He agreed with our project, and we will go to the end. Thank you for your presence and your permission. God bless you all. Au revoir.
Au revoir.